place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, stays not safe. Before you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace. None in my league, you out of place. I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, state to state.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, and I am here again, Straight Talk Wrestling, live on location at HWE to bring you none other than the amazing, the incredible Aron Stevens. How are you, sir?
I'm lovely. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm talking to you. I'm actually a huge fan of yours.
Oh, thank you.
One of my first questions is, I'm also a giant Miz guy. I'm a huge Miz mark. I love the Miz. Everything you did with him as MIzdow was absolutely incredible. I don't think people realize how hard it is to literally shadow fight with yourself as well as you did. Did you guys see that thing blowing up like it did?
No, it was more like I was just consistently put with someone on TV. And then when I was doing my thing, Miz was, smart enough and enough of a businessman where he went, okay, let's do this. Now, Miz is also a friend of mine. And, Miz is one of the most selfless performers, I think, that I've ever worked with, because had he not played ball, that whole character wouldn't have worked. It was very much a timing issue with us, and we would just do it as time goes on. We would adjust every night. We'd do what we had to do, and that was it. So that was just kind of like a really, really great memory I have. Is although we enjoy each other's company, we never had to talk about a lot. You know what I mean? Because our stuff was always just out there. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, also, I'm a huge fan of the NWA product, and I know during the 5 questions that you did with my daughter, you mentioned Joseph, a.k.a. the question mark. Fantastic performer, underrated performer, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I know he was a good friend of yours, and I know the NW roster really put forward their strongest effort for that tribute show to him and everything that they did for him, especially at Back for the Attack, where they kind of honored him. And you had that amazing match with Nick Aldis, which was phenomenal. What do you do to consistently, what's one of the fondest memories you have of question mark, either in front of the camera or behind the camera?
Well, I mean, behind the camera, it was definitely our conversations. Like we would call once every week. We would call, and we weren't on the phone shorter than like 45 minutes. I mean, other like we've talked 2 and 3 hours sometimes. You know what I mean? Just to kind of like see what was going on. Yeah, like that was definitely like outside. Because there have been times even where it's like goes off in my brain. Oh, I have to call Sensei question mark about this one, and that was a few months after the passing. But on camera, we were doing an interview with Sean Mooney, and we're doing our thing, and it was with Trevor Murdoch, and something happened to where like the audience was responding to something I would say, and they would boo, and they would respond to something to Trevor say, they would cheer, and question mark couldn't understand English. So something happened and he cheered at the wrong time. And I painted that picture horribly, but it was the only time I have ever just completely broke down and just started laughing because of the way he sold it. And he was great. He was a brilliant performer. And he was an amazing dad and an amazing friend. So
Absolutely. Now, a rumor that I have to clear up because it's kind of a hot button issue. I know you're retiring from the NWA, but there are some fan websites out there. You know how wrestling, they love to talk, that you may be going back to WWE as Elias's brother, Ezekiel's brother, sorry. Is that like a factual thing? Is that just nasty rumors?
Nasty rumors. Like they have never contacted me. I've never contacted them. It's just been kind of like like that chapter of my life is done and I'm moving forward. And I don't know if they did contact me. I would have much interest in doing that because I think like there's just other things that I'm focusing on, and even in wrestling right now, with NWA is great because it is a kind of a blank canvas you can paint on, and it's not really that common in the business today. And to me, it's always been more about the art, than like whatever mainstream is trying to sell you. I was always like, no, get the people on your side and everything will take care of the rest. And that's still why I do it, because I took a couple years off, but the fact is, like, I stepped back in the wrestling business, and that's thanks to Billy and the NWA. But I've acknowledged that it's something I do love. And now, like, I'm just having fun with it and kind of like seeing where my mood is taking me, so to speak, and letting that come out in the ring more and more. And I'm just really fortunate enough to have had the career I've had in the NWA, and you know what, the fact that I want to retire, maybe that changes, maybe it stays the same. I don't know, because I'm taking it one day at a time. So I guess I've given you a little more questions and answers, but I can definitely say that as far as the WWE goes, no. And again, this is nothing against Elias, the performer. I think he's very talented, and I think he, probably should have gotten more than they've given him. And the only reason I say this, like I've gotten comparisons, and people have always hit me up about it. So when I check the stuff out, really, really talented, and I just wish that guys that look the part can do all the stuff in between were given that opportunity and to really, really succeed. But I'm sure whatever they give him, he'll take the most with, take what it is rather and make the most out of it. And that's what you have to keep doing. That's kind of the survival up there. So, but it's, in the real world, what I figured out is, yeah, that instinct applied to another field. If you do that right, you can really get somewhere. And that's kind of been the big lesson I've gotten from the WWE, which is, when you don't get what you want, ever, and when things are just taken and everything, how can you take that and make it work somehow? And I think right now in acting, I've been able to kind of do that. And, it's paying my bills, putting food on the table, and I'm having some fun, which is really, really cool. And in that business, some people never get to do that. So I've been really, really fortunate to have learned the lessons I've had from WWE, kind of be healthy enough to transition into something else and not have any major bumps and bruises, or wrinkles for that matter. Just saying.
You do. I'll put this. He's standing right next to me, guys. This is in 4K.
I do have some
great skin.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Skin.
And
what's your regimen? Do you have like a whole thing?
Oh, retinol, vitamin E, grapeseed oil twice a week. It's got antioxidants. It's a little, it can be a little bit oily, but let the antioxidants soak your skin up. And again, like, you don't get crow's feet. There's no wrinkles up here. You do the best you can, and just kind of stay with that. And I also lucked out genetically, and also not being on the road.
Did luck out genetically.
Thank
You are a beautiful man.
You know what? The camera thinks so. I mean, that's the camera's,
I got to ask this question. I'm a huge fan of Billy Corgan and everything that he's done with the NWA. I'm a big fan of that wrestling. That's the era that I kind of grew up on. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm back from that era that old. I was born in the 80s. But my dad being a fan, my grandfather being a fan, I was able to watch some of that classic stuff very early on in my childhood fandom. So what's it like being in that room again, wrestling in those hollowed halls, if you will, on that canvas that house so many amazing matches?
Incredible. And I will say that it is incredible. When you go to the NWA, it's not like any other organization, and wherever we're at, Atlanta, Nashville, Knoxville, St. Louis, which we're going to be at the end of this August, of course, wrestling at the Chase. There's definitely a fan base which is growing and growing and growing, and it's a loyal fan base, and a lot of the talent is very loyal, and we understand what we have. And it's our job to kind of maybe leave the business a little better in terms of how we treat the younger talent backstage, to try to help them, and at the same time not like completely, oh yeah, well when I was your age, no, like it's not like that. We understand that it's a new era, and we understand people have to do them, but there's just little things here and there that like we feel if we can kind of just have a hand in and just kind of guide people, and like I'll say Jordan Clearwater is a perfect example. Look in the last 2 years what he's done, and that's because he has taken the advice and applied himself. And there's so many other talented people out there, and so that's the good part about NWA too. It's like it's giving back, and at the same time, wrestling for an organization we love, for really a boss that we love. Because I will say this, Billy does not have to do any of this, and he does. And I'm lucky because. It's funny, Billy always believed in me, even like right after WWE, where I wasn't necessarily in the best spot professionally, but Billy always believed in me. And so for him to, call me and say, hey, NWA's starting up again, I want you to be a part of it. And I was in Hawaii working on an episode of Magnum P.I. That was the biggest break I'd gotten at the time in acting. So I'm like, this is awesome. And when the call came, I initially was like, I don't know. But then something had me go. And mainly the fact that they bought me a plane ticket. And I'm kidding, not really. But when I saw the studio for the first time and I saw what it was, like with the interview table and the announcers, and like something in my heart. It was like the Grinch when his heart grew about 5 sizes. Like my love for wrestling was like, oh no, yes, we're back, and it was just from there. So yeah.
Absolutely. You were actually one of the main reasons why I started watching the NWA. Again, like I said, I'm a fan.
You're a smart man.
I'm a smart, very smart man. But I appreciate the storytelling that they do. I appreciate Billy's mind for the business. I think a lot of people give Billy flack, especially in the early or the ending era of TNA. Wasn't really the best shape, and Billy tried to go in and save it.
Not his fault, yeah.
No, absolutely not his fault. Absolutely. The product was already broken at that time. But I don't think people give him enough credit for the amazing mind that he has for this business.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
Yeah, see, he does. He has a great mind for this business, and I think it's an underrated mind. Would you say it's one of those minds that appreciates the old, I guess, the golden age of wrestling, but also understands that it's a new era, and you got to have that little bit of extra spice?
100%. Absolutely, no doubt about it. And that's what kind of, I think, is a major unifying factor that unites a lot of us, to where, like, we believe the wheel is still round, but you need to change the hubcaps every now and then. You know what I mean?
I like that. That's a very good analogy. Yeah. So now I know you're doing the acting stuff a lot more. You're getting a lot more breaks and opportunities and stuff like that. Are there any projects you're really excited about? This is going to drop literally a week from now. So is there any projects that you have upcoming or that we should be keeping an eye out for?
Yes. I cannot say anything. I have the hush-hush clause, but this is something pretty major. I need you to follow me at the Aron Files on Instagram, TheAron Files. Or Aron's Thoughts on Twitter, ARONS Thoughts, and you will know as soon as I do, or you'll know as soon as I can put it out there. But it's pretty major stuff, and we're heading in the right direction on all cylinders, shall we say?
So I actually follow you on both because, like I said, I'm a huge fan. Maybe I'll get a return follow today. Straight Talk Wrestling.
Never know.
Maybe it could happen.
Very well.
If it does happen, I'm going to screenshot it and be like, "Look, Aron Stevens is my friend. Even though he's been on my show, he's my friend." We're kind of twins, right? We kind of got the doppelganger thing.
Absolutely.
We're gorgeous. I mean, you have way better hair than I do.
Well, what can I say? Just it's might have been a bit of surgery involved in that, but I won't say. But it is my own natural hair.
You could do Herbal Essence commercials if they ever bring it back.
Oh, yeah.
You'd rock it out of the park, right?
Absolutely.
If you could, okay, here's a question for you. If there's any brand that you could,
okay. All right, no. Hey, where is he?
Who are you looking for?
Santino.
He's right over there.
Boris! Hey, Boris!
Do you want me to go get him? I can go get him.
Yeah.
Okay, here. Yeah. Keep the camera rolling.
Yeah, we're going to just keep the camera rolling. We're going to go get Santino. Very, very interesting that he asked me that question because we were talking, actually it was this morning, believe it or not, about a brand that needs to be kind of brought back. And I just want to get confirmation on this, ladies and gentlemen, about this isn't something I'm making up. This is a real thing. This is an absolute real thing. And these questions keep coming up, and maybe this is a sign. But we have the man right here, and I was just asked about brands that need to come back, like a brand, like my ideal brand that I could revitalize. You know what the first thought that came into my head?
What was that?
What were we talking about this morning that needs to be revitalized?
You have to refresh my memory.
Brute Aftershave.
Oh, yes. That's a brand that should come back. I think we just need the right actor or professional athlete or sports entertainer to really, really endorse the product, stand behind it, make it mainstream again, just bring that shit back.
What about Aqua Velva?
Wouldn't you want to smell how I look? Think about that. Right? Tell me that's not Brute all the way. And speaking of Brute, look at this. Christopher.
Please.
Christopher, come join us.
This is an amazing moment right
now.
Come
join us.
Hi,
hey,
how you guys doing? Good to see you. I've been waiting to come over here. I've seen you over here. I thought you were doing something important, but now I realize I need to crash this party.
Yes.
How you doing?
How are you?
He's doing my podcast. My podcast's not important?
All right, your thoughts on the old school Brute aftershave. If that was marketed right, like stop with these colognes, just wear some Brute, be a man again.
No. You want to bring back aftershave? What the hell is this? Fucking 1989? Are you kidding me?
Not as cologne, as just an after-workout splash. You could market it and be fancy.
Well, isn't that what Axe is for? I mean, I don't even use Axe,
but
man.
it's
my
trendier.
natural scent is intoxicating.
It actually is. You smell fantastic.
Yeah, intoxicating is the word.
I have been sweating all day, but we're just saying.
Right.
Anyways, how are you guys over here talking about aftershave? What is this?
Well, I asked him about brands that he would like to bring back or represent.
I gotta get one flex in. Hey, yeah. He's becoming a body guy, by the way. I don't know if you guys
We're
have
trying.
seen all
Yep,
this
we're
going
trying.
on, but like,
We're
hey,
trying.
you need to make this transition. It's long overdue, brother.
I'm a body guy in transition right now. I'm not there, but I'm getting there.
Anyways, it's
Yeah.
good to be in Canada. It's good
Yeah.
to see you guys. I just wanted to come say hi to my old
Yes.
buddy over here.
Well, we're going to talk
have time
more.
later. Can I
We're
get
gonna
some
talk
time with
more.
you on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Right.
It's happening.
There we go. Thank y'all. Peace out.
Peace out, guys.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode on all available podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. Also, check us out on YouTube at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And if you feel the need to buy some sweet merch, check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Leaving the scene with no trace, not in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great. You're not my fan. You can't relate. Straight talk going state to state.